Olha que engraçado, ele está muito louco. Espere eu distrair, só pra descer mais um pouco. Ele quebra de ladinho, só pra disfarçar. Ele quer pegar, mas eu não vou deixar. Começa no queixinho, ele desce mais um pouco. Mas tá no umbiguinho, pode parar, começa de novo. Agora é minha vez, eu gosto é de atiçar. Vou ameaçar, mas eu não vou pegar. Então vem, pode vir, pode perder a linha, porque é tão bom brincar. Não pega, pega com a vaguecinha. Se liga no papo reto que eu vou mandar pra tu. Vem brincar no pega, pega com a vaguecinha do Pikachu. Pega, pega. Olha que engraçado, ele está muito louco. Espere eu distrair, só pra descer mais um pouco. Ele quebra de ladinho, só pra disfarçar. Ele quer pegar, mas eu não vou deixar.
Os campeões jogam. Este que eu tenho. O poderoso rei da veia. O seu grande inseto não resistirá ao meu próximo ataque. E ataca com eletricidade. Os campeões jogam.
Hey everyone, thanks for coming. We're just going to give it a few minutes, let everyone roll in the room, and then we're going to get started. If you want to follow along with the visuals, hop onto Twitch, twitch.com/Rad Ruesday. Hashtag Rad Ruesday Drop Party, #1. If anyone wants to come on stage, just raise your hand.
As mulheres no verão sempre se produzem com um corpinho bronzeado, no estilo gostosinho. Nós mostramos para ele nosso jeito sedutor, sem ter pena, sem ter dó. Demorou, mas abalou. Se você quiser um jeitinho diferente, sem ter medo do perigo, pode vir caixa pé quente. Se você tiver coragem de conhecer a horta, vai vender caqui com a boca que tu vai embora. A moda do verão, vou te mostrar agora. Vai vender caqui com a boca que tu vai embora. Embora, embora, boca que tu vai embora. Embora, embora, boca que tu vai embora. Embora, embora, boca que tu vai embora.
Let me get things started in about 4 minutes.
Embora, boca que tu vai embora.
Wait for everyone to pour into the room. Welcome, Michael.
I'm just testing the mic on this little laptop. I hope everything's working.
Excellent. Samtoshi's on Twitch. He's with us. Welcome, Samtoshi. Samtoshi's going to be speaking later tonight about his Genesis collab with Tom Williams, Mr. Straight Path. Miss Abby has joined. Welcome, Abby. Hey. Alright.
Eu quero os carrascos e o bonde do vinho.
Toma, toma, desce, sobe com jeitinho.
Pra me encher de prazer, eu quero o bonde do vinho.
Puxa, piquita, te pego no labirinto.
Eu quero os carrascos pra vir dançar comigo.
Fica quietinha. E também fica quietinha.
We got this live stream going now. We're live on Twitch, twitch.com/Rad Ruesday.
E também fica quietinha.
And we're just going to get started. It'll all be recorded. So you'll be able to look back on this fondly.
O show vai começar e ela está dançando com o lindo jeitinho que está nos atirando.
Yeah, if you're on Clubhouse and Twitch, just go ahead and mute the stream. Because you should be able to get either mute your phone audio or mute the Twitch audio so you don't get double.
Eu quero os carrascos e o bonde do vinho. Pra me encher de prazer, eu quero o bonde do vinho.
Te pego no labirinto.
Eu quero os carrascos pra vir dançar comigo.
All right, welcome everyone to the very first Rad Ruesday drop party. I'm your host, Mr. Justin. I got my friend here, Mr. Charmander. He's going to help me out tonight. Just let me know if the audio is sounding good, if you're in the chat or in Clubhouse. And we will get started. All right, so tonight we are graced by the presence of Mr. Tom Williams, aka The Straight Path. He's here tonight to drop his Genesis Collab project. It's a huge project on OpenSea, NFT, with several collaborators who will be speaking tonight. And basically, we've got some crazy stuff planned for tonight. We've got some giveaways, and we are ready to go. Just a reminder, this is a Rad Ruesday event. And we're going to talk a little bit about what Rad Ruesday is in a little bit. But if you do plan on participating in the giveaways, please make sure that you log into Twitch because we will be doing it through the Twitch chat. Alrighty, so with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Tom. And he's going to give some opening words about his Genesis Collab project. So let's do this. Tom, take it away.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Thank you so much. I'd like to make a special thank you to MJ, also known on here, Michael. He's actually brand new on Clubhouse. Everybody give a virtual applause for my man who's actually a part of this Genesis project. I'd like to give another special thank you to Abby. She's also here. She's also a very close Rad Ruesday friend, so she's always making good educational advice whenever we connect on Rad Ruesday Clubhouse every Tuesday. And other than that, let's get into this. The Straight Path is a project that was hand selected by a few fellow investors in our brand. We were established back in, a couple months ago. I just like to say February/January. We actually started getting together back in December, but we really didn't start pulling funds and actual contracts until February. And that's actually right when NFTs hit the fan. So I like to say we got in just in time, and at the same time, not in enough time. Because you know how they say perfect timing always feels like it's too late. And if you feel like that, just keep your head up and understand that it's going to be all right. In due time, you will get exactly what you deserve and what you work for. But we decided to come together. We all pretty much brought our capital together by real estate. And if those who are kind of familiar with the real estate market, you'll understand that capital can come and go. It's very fluctuating. It's an up and down market. But that kind of says the same thing about NFTs, if you want to agree to disagree. Because there's times you can have nice sales of a couple thousand to a couple hundred, and then you can have weeks to close to months with nothing, where you feel like no one even sees you. So we started with real estate. We loved a couple things we were doing with just fixing and flipping, buying and holding this and that with the market. And then a couple of our investors actually are artists, and they actually do like music. So we started seeing a couple things go down with, I'm pretty positive, I don't want to be mistaken, but was it 3 Days Grace, or was it was one musical band that actually had their lyrics and all that, their whole album made as an NFT that struck our eye a little bit. And then we just saw how other artists were just making not only music, but pretty much it looks like cinematic, almost like you can pretty much touch, to feel, to play this type of art. And we're seeing the profits come in and out. And we're just understanding, like, okay, where can we fit in this market? Because for one, we're established through generational wealth and also significant value. We never want to be left behind in the dust. We all have someone we're doing this for. We all have a reason. We all have a why. And I know once we saw that, all of our reasons and our whys came together, and it was 100% generational wealth. NFTs will never die. They're not going nowhere. And I don't think anyone who believes that is going to last as long as they feel as if they're going to last as long within this whole process of NFTs growing. So the brand founded a couple photos that were professionally taken. We started connecting with a few things that we thought could stick. A few things that we thought and relate to people. We also dissed a few ideas. We trashed a few ideas. We reconstructed a few ideas. And it ended up just becoming about 5 to about 10 photos that were minimized down about within 30 choices, I promise you. But we ended up having 5 out of the 10, which I'm very thankful for all the artists being able to participate and be able to collab with us and be able to make this whole dream that it once was become into a reality. But networking is ultimately the key. So we started slowly but surely finding different artists that we either collected from, we bought their art from, or we networked with, or we supported. We didn't buy their art by supporting, but we support them virtually by a retweet, a share, posting your art on our wall, anything that would just grow your whole platform. So the brand wasn't obviously going to start with just our next door neighbor. So we ended up just connecting more and more. It started with Facebook, to be honest, and our own platform, which is williamsbuyandtrade.com. And it started slowly growing, but then we seen a thing called Twitter, which obviously you can see on our portfolio. We established our Twitter back in February, March, and that's when everything really started to explode. We started to connect with other investors, other collectors, other artists. It has started to a very snowball going down the mountain. So there was no stopping it from that point on. Once we had the art and we had the artists that were willing to create something within their own creative rights, which we told them 100%. We encourage you to keep your creative rights, because we wanted to see what was really going to come about this project when we take our physical professional portfolio photos and turn them into something digital that is in a blockchain. And we also made sure that each artist was anonymous until the drop. So some artists are in different time zones. Some artists are, of course, working, and you got to understand that. Not everybody is financially free selling hundreds of $1,000s worth of art right now. So we respect that. And we made sure that they stayed anonymous, not showing each other's art, not their bio, nothing until the drop time. So just like to say, what you think about today and tomorrow is exactly what you're going to mold your future into. And what you think about is exactly what you become. And if some people, if not everybody, listen to Bob Proctor, they'll understand this quote: whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. And if you think that quote can't really stick and come home, you have to really think about that. Because the mind it's all started with the mind. It started with a couple of investors who thought about this whole situation and this whole process, and we believed in it so much that we worked and worked and worked until we achieved. And now look at us. We're all here together virtually, but pretty much as close as we can physically to each other, and sharing each other's dreams and art and platform like it was never going to happen before, unless it was in a whole different realm and a whole different parallel universe. But at the same time, you have to understand, do not give up on yourself. You might feel like right now you're walking through quicksand, or you're just pretty much stagnant, staying still. If it feels like that, you need to just look yourself in the face and just tell yourself, I need to act as if it's impossible to fail. If you come to terms and understand that, there's nothing that's going to get in your way, and you'll be eventually exactly where you want to be. No matter who says you can't, who says you can, you will be able to see exactly what you sow. So with that being said, I don't want to take up too much time. I'd like to definitely pass it back over to our host, Justin. And I greatly appreciate everyone who was lending an ear throughout that whole little rant, I guess you would say, whole little bio of us. And yeah, Justin, you can take it from there.
Man, that was beautiful. And a lot of really thoughtful, thought-provoking ideas in there. I think most importantly, supporting each other and keeping that generational wealth going, one step at a time. So thank you, man. That was beautiful. And I would love to introduce our first speaker tonight, which would be Mr. Bayman, aka Michael Jordan. Michael, whenever you're ready, we got this new NFT over here with the Straight Path, Mr. Tom. We got it up on stream on Twitch, twitch.com/Rad Ruesday. Take it away, man. Let me know.
Fantastic. How's it, everyone? And yeah, thank you so much for inviting me and for making me part of this thing. It really is a big privilege. I'm coming from all the way in South Africa. And yeah, I use my middle name when I started Twitter because, of course, basketball is not the biggest of sports here in South Africa, but with a name like Michael Jordan, I do get asked quite a lot of times, am I related or something like that. So on Twitter, I go with my middle name, which is Bayman. And then, of course, Black Panther came out, and now there's that actor, Michael B. Jordan. So a little bit unfortunate on the naming, but yeah, this is my piece that I created. And gosh, it's such a crazy thing to see art and crypto combining, because these were two passions of mine that I started, separately, and they kind of came together. So I started, and it was weird because I kind of got into both of these things at the same time. So I finished university in 2013, tried the office day job for 14 months, wasn't for me, so I started doing like entrepreneurial work, and the one thing I was doing was creating art, and I wanted to get into galleries. So I'm in the city of Cape Town, quite a big art scene here. We call it First Thursdays, the first Thursday of every month. Of course, if it wasn't for COVID, I'd probably be out at the galleries and doing all that kind of stuff, but we have all these galleries that stay open late at night, and it's just a big party. And I wanted to be part of that, so I try to take the doodles that I was making during my lectures and turn it into physical pieces that I could portray at these galleries. And it was interesting because a lot of the galleries, they were like, hey, we like what you're creating, we just don't like what you're creating it on. And I was creating it on Perspex, or on the computer, and then I would print these things on Perspex. And I guess South Africa is a bit of a traditional country. They wanted it on canvas. It's kind of like, ooh, if it's not on canvas, can you really call it art? That's kind of the thinking down here. But at the same time, I studied actuarial science and did my fellowship in finance. Of course, when Bitcoin came along, this was something that's challenging the financial system, and I was very new to the game. I was like, well, let me learn this whole technology. And it was about 2 years afterwards, I think, it was 2017, around about that, there was this website called ascribe.io, which is unfortunately now defunct, but there you could put your images on the Bitcoin blockchain, not as an NFT. So it's not as if it lived on the blockchain, just as a way, as a digital certificate. And this was really exciting because I try to put my art on the Bitcoin thing and try and go to these galleries and say, listen, here, we've got the blockchain now. This is now a digital certificate, because that was the one thing they said. They said, oh, if you're printing this thing on Perspex, you can just mass produce this thing, where, you know, if it was paint on canvas, it's a lot harder to do. So I was exploring that whole thing about art and blockchain. But then, yeah, you know, life gets in the way and didn't really continue it until, funnily enough, COVID happens. We've got lockdown here in South Africa, and bored out of my mind sitting at home. And of course, I come across Super Rare, and it was like, okay, let's have a go at this. So I've been on Super Rare for a year, and it's absolutely blown all expectations. I mean, for me, art was always something that I was spending money on. You know, I was spending money on printing on Perspex, spending money on transporting it, getting to these galleries, you know, just trying to show my work out there. And it was mind-boggling that people were purchasing it on the blockchain. And of course, being South African, our local currency is very weak. So the purchasing power of the dollar is quite substantial. So when people like buy, let's say, just an NFT for $500, which I know in the NFT world, you know, still fairly small, here in South Africa, that's absolutely huge. And for like, it's quite crazy with our population. That's almost like a monthly salary of quite a lot of people here. So of course, it's been an exciting time. I'm telling all my friends about NFTs, trying to encourage a lot of people to join. At first, they didn't want to hear about it. And then, of course, when this thing blew up, I'm sure you guys experienced something similar. Suddenly, all those friends were now sending you messages saying, hey, what's going on? What is this thing? You know, coming a little bit and wanting to join the party. And the great thing about the NFT community is that it's very welcoming. And I must say, I've just received so much love from this community. And it's really motivated me to create making art, because sometimes you go through, you know, that artistic block and you just can't create anything. And it's lovely to come onto Twitter, see everybody's creations, you get inspired, you get these new ideas, you see people commenting, and it just, yeah, it's amazing how this community is so good for art in general, because there's kind of a little bit of like this renaissance. You know, we're all sharing our ideas, and that's why it's really important that we have these communities and we have these type of discussions. And that's why it's midnight here in South Africa. But I was like, I need to be part of this call. Need to come in and say hi. So yeah, that's a little bit of my story. You guys are more than welcome to ask me any questions if you have any. But yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Michael Jordan. We are going to open it up for some questions. If anyone has some, just speak up in the clubhouse. The mic is yours now.
Actually, I got one if I can slide one in real fast. First of all, what is up, MJ? It's definitely an honor to actually speak to you, and I greatly appreciate you and your time that you were able to take upon and be able to share and create this beautiful NFT. My question to you is, and it relates kind of inside and outside of this NFT, and one that we actually collected, Caroline, and kind of relates also to our own muse, but why always colors? Like, why always the vibrant colors? Like, why are you always so attracted to colors? Because I noticed even in your one YouTube tutorial, which I definitely encourage a lot of people to go look up, MJ, the fellow actuary, on YouTube, and check out that. He actually shows you how to create an NFT on Super Rare. I've noticed that too. It's a lot of bursts of colors. So if you can just take like a couple seconds and or a couple minutes, whatever you can, I respect it. On why?
No, look, I mean, sometimes it gets me in trouble, especially in the fashion department. I've got these bright green shoes that I love to wear and I'll clash it with like a bright orange t-shirt. And, you know, anyone will tell you orange and green are probably not colors you want to be wearing too often. And not at all together. But for me, colors are just, there's so much emotion behind each and every one of them. And by kind of like having a whole bunch of colors together, you kind of create that, that ambiguity with like, what is this? Is this happy? Is it sad? You've got the sad, which is blue, and the happy, which is yellow, and you oscillate between them. And for me, that kind of represents how I live life. It's when I'm feeling up, I'm feeling up. When I'm feeling down, I'm feeling, very, very down. So I have these kind of spikes. And I think the colors is my way of expressing how I live my life. I know a lot of people, especially in the actuarial space, like actuaries are kind of known as people who found accounting to be too exciting. So a lot of my colleagues and a lot of people I work with are very flat, very gray, very, monotone. And I'm a little bit in contrast to that. Like I say, it's very hyperactive or very depressed, or very up, very down. And colors is a lovely way of, I guess, reflecting that. And it's weird because when I first started making art, I didn't consciously do that. It's only something that I can now look back on and say, oh, okay, this is where all the colors are coming from. Because, when you make art, already like in the beginning, a lot of it's happening unconsciously and you're just doing these things. So if you had asked me that question a couple of years ago, or when I had started, I probably would have been because I like the colors. But now that I've been able to reflect a little bit more, I think that is the reasoning for it.
Very cool. All right. Well, I had a quick question. I know you mentioned a little bit in when you were speaking about how you feel the pushback you got from the South African art scene was more about traditionalism. But I'm wondering what else about, having the experience of being South African. How does that inspire and work into your own practice? Like, what's the sort of scene over there, and how do you see that, fitting in with all the NFT business?
No, look, it's interesting being South African because geographically we're quite isolated from the rest of the world. We're quite far away from the States, we're far away from Europe, we're far away from Japan and everything. And sometimes we can feel isolated when it comes to the art world. And that's why, you look at a lot of the contemporary art that's been happening recently with those big balloon sculptures and all these crazy things. Logistically, it's a bit of a nightmare to have these shows here in South Africa. So South African art tends to be conservative, tends to be very, very old school. But fortunately, and this is something that's amazing about South Africa, is we tend to be quite financially savvy. We're well known for having a very good banking industry. We're well known for having great audit facilities and all of that. So when crypto came up, a lot of people jumped on it, and there's a very big crypto space in Cape Town, in South Africa. And that, of course, has been really beneficial because, you guys know the space. It's crazy. There's so many different things happening every single day. You can't keep an eye on it all. So having a community, having a group of friends that we would, before COVID, meet for beers, have chats, meet on a social scale. I remember one of them telling me, hey, there's this thing called crypto kittens. And I was like, what? And then sooner or later, we had like a group of 20 people contributing a little bit of ETH to buy some, Gen 1s to breed together. And, we were pulling our money and we were doing silly things and all that kind of stuff. So being South African definitely has an advantage in that sense, that a lot of people here know about crypto and are interested in it. So from the blockchain point of view, it's really cool. And I just look at some of the other artists on Rarible and Super Ray and all of that kind of stuff, and there are a lot of other South Africans, which is really encouraging to see. But on the art side, like I say, it's a bit of it's still that conservative movement. You go into museums or you go into galleries, and it's still that old school, landscape paintings of maybe of a leopard and that kind of stuff. So from an art way, it's very conservative, but from a crypto side of view, it's very, very encouraging. And it's always weird when I have some of my Bitcoin friends say, "Oh, NFTs. What is this? Like, is this really going to be something?" And I'm like, "Hey, you're part of the Bitcoin wave. We went through this whole thing about people saying, 'Oh, is Bitcoin real money?' And you were such a champion. And now, some of them are questioning, is NFT, is it more than just a JPEG? They come with that whole view. So it's interesting. It's a fun space to be in. But no, I definitely love being South African. And once COVID has ended, I'd really encourage everyone to come and visit our beautiful country.
Wow. Thank you very much, man. Do you have any social media links or websites that you want to shout out on the live stream right now?
So, funnily enough, my main form of social media on the internet is my YouTube channel, which is called MJ the Fellow Actuary. It was MJ the Student Actuary when I was back at varsity, and then when I qualified, I thought I don't want to be a student for the rest of my life, so let me make the change on social media. So that's my main one is MJ the Fellow Actuary on YouTube. But when it comes to NFTs and all that kind of stuff, I'm very active on Twitter, and that's where I use my middle name, which is Bayman. When you type it in on text, it's sometimes when you autocorrect it to Batman, so I sometimes tell people my name is Michael Batman Jordan, and then they don't believe a single word I say after that. And 1991 is the year I was born. So Bayman 1991 on Twitter.
All right. Well, everyone who's listening, please go give him a follow at Bayman1991 on Twitter, and I'm sure you can find his YouTube channel through there. And for anyone who's interested in actually buying this NFT with your crypto, it is currently available on OpenSea as part of the Genesis project. So you can check that out in Tom Williams, The Straight Path's Twitter bio. And that link is going to be on screen, basically the whole chat. So go check it out. Thank you very much, Mr. Michael.
Thank you so much.
All right, people. Well, we got some exciting giveaways. I don't know if you got a whiff of this through, Twitter or whatever, but we got two very, very rare and exclusive giveaways tonight. We are going to have two pieces by artists that are speaking that are going to be for free. And all you have to do to be eligible to win is come into the Twitch chat room and make sure you're logged in and that you can chat in the room. And I'm going to explain in a little bit how you can win those prizes. And make sure you go ahead and follow The Straight Path on Twitter as well, because this is his release, and we're really excited for all of his NFTs that just came out. And aside from that, also, in case you didn't know, this event is being hosted by Rad Ruesday, which is an NFT collective on Twitter, which was founded by our good friend who's not with us at this very moment. Maybe he might pop in, Mr. Sal Satoshi. That's at Sal Satoshi NFT on Twitter. So what is Rad Ruesday? We're a Twitter chat, we're a Discord. We basically support each other. We hype each other up, we promote each other, and basically it's just like a little family. I mean, we check in on each other every day pretty much for the most part. When we release new artwork, we show it to each other, we can get feedback. And on top of that, we do a weekly clubhouse every single Tuesday on Rad Ruesday, right? So yeah, we got a lot of events coming out. We do these drop parties for our members. And we're always trying to, create new things. It's a decentralized group, non-hierarchical. So anyone who has an idea is welcome to spearhead it, step up to the plate, and, make it happen within the group. We do group voting for anything that we see that we might need voting for. So please check out Rad Ruesday. There's instructions on how to join on screen. But basically, you're going to find an artist whose work you like on Twitter. You're going to leave them a comment with some kind words, and you're going to use hashtag Rad Ruesday in your comment with a Scooby meme. And that was created by Sal. Specifically, it might sound a little silly, but the whole Rad Ruesday thing is basically about keeping the vibes good, making sure that it's a very lighthearted community. We're not trying to be pretentious. We're not trying to invite in, super, whatever. So basically, Rad Ruesday, hashtag Rad Ruesday every day. These people I speak to every single day, and it's an amazing community. All right. Well, next up, we have a very special, speaking of Rad Ruesday, we have one of the OG members of Rad Ruesday, Miss Ninte, aka Miss Flower Power, who will be joining us and speaking right now. Nini, you there?
I'm here. How is everybody doing today?
We're doing good. This is going better than I expected.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm so happy to be a part of this collaboration project, and I actually have not seen any of the other artists' work, so I'm definitely going to check that out here in a minute. But yeah, thank you for inviting me to be a part of this.
All right, well, take it away. We got your work up on Twitch, twitch.com/Rad Ruesday. We're also on Clubhouse right now in case you want to join in for audio, ask questions. Miss Flower Power, let's hear what you got to say.
Okay, so I'm not always that great at speaking about myself here, but I guess I'll give you a little bit of my background. I'm a mixed media artist. Right now, my main mediums have been epoxy resin, alcohol ink, and collage work. So I've actually been experimenting with doing my collage work within layers of resin instead of pasting onto canvas. So that's been a whole learning process for me. I got into doing epoxy resin work because I was working on like a flower preservation project. I live in the Midwest, and as you know, we have very long winters here. So there's like this part of me that just wanted to like save a part of like my garden every spring and summer. So I started with just like resining like flowers that I would find like in my area, learning about like the native plants around my area, and then it kind of started like becoming a small like business for me. I was getting requests from people to make them stuff, and then I also got the idea of doing like memorial gifts for people who have passed. So we actually had a family friend whose son committed suicide last summer, and they had so many flowers left over after the service, and I thought it would be a great idea to actually take some of those flowers and make like personalized memorial trinkets for friends and family members. So I just did like this whole series of work, and it was very personalized, and everyone was so happy with how it turned out because it was something that they could have that wasn't like that actually brought them some joy. Flowers always kind of bring joy to people. So I've been trying to expand on that, and I'm thinking about starting to do like wedding bouquets, like resin wedding bouquets. So I'm trying to like grow my business, but I'm also spreading myself a little thin lately because I have like a million different projects that I'm working on. Most recently, I did a collaboration with NFT Pizza that was really fun. I don't know if anyone saw that on Twitter, but that was a fun little collaboration project to check out if you can. And I'm also working on some jewelry designs. I design jewelry as well. And I'm going to be coming out with like a series of designs that I want to like make in mass quantity because I'd like to sell them and donate some of the proceeds to victims of sex trafficking. So that's another project that I'm starting to like, just get some ideas and start working with different colors and beads and whatnot. But it's summer here in the Midwest, so I'm also trying to just enjoy my time. It doesn't last long, so I've been gardening a lot. I've been helping a neighbor do a little koi pond and a fairy garden in her yard. So, yeah, so just kind of enjoying the weather. I think in the first several months I was in the NFT space, I just was like running on adrenaline, and I worked so hard, and I think I burnt out a little bit. So it is kind of like a well-needed like break here, but speaking with you all always inspires me. So I'm feeling like it's time to get back into the game.
Yes, and every time your presence is always appreciated when you come through. You have such a great energy, Flower, and man, I'm so grateful that you're a part of this group. I feel like you're one of the reasons we're still together, and I just want to say thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
And
Yeah, another cool thing I've been doing is I bought a rock tumbler. So,
ooh,
like with my resin work that I've been doing, I've also been kind of studying like organ and orgonite, like practicing making my own pyramids and whatnot. So I bought like a rock tumbler, and it's been an interesting experience because I got some like raw crystals, and I never realized like how long it took to like actually get like your stones and gemstones to the point where they're like polished and like, you know, the stuff that you buy in the store. So that's been a really cool experience. I've been taking pictures along the way, and I will post them eventually just to see like the process from beginning to end. I'm almost done with my first batch of stones that I've been tumbling. But yeah, like it's just stuff like that. Like you never realize like how much work goes into that. Like you have to use all these different grits of sand, and I'm hoping to use some of these stones that I've been tumbling in my jewelry designs that I'm making too.
and now, would you be able to tell me a little bit about the piece that you've worked on for Tom in this collaboration?
Yes. So I was asked to be a part of this collaboration, and I was happy to do it. And he sent us some photographs, and I believe they were like maybe engagement photos. So one of the photos that spoke to me was one with the where they were holding hands and looking at each other, and you could just tell that they were very happy and in love. But the background was like fall leaves, and I wanted to take that picture and kind of like breathe some color into it. I'm also like somebody who uses a lot of vibrant colors. I can relate to Michael in that aspect because I also work in accounting. So I have like my 9 to 5 where it's like I'm with very like dry, drab people. And then like I went to art school, but that's not what I ended up doing for a living. So like in my, you know, real life outside of work, like I'm a very colorful person. So I always use a lot of color in my artwork. So I wanted to take that picture and just like make it very colorful and like kind of like just capture like the essence of like falling in love and like a first love. And so yeah, I hope I did that. I used a beautiful yellow flower as the sun, and I put that behind them. And I think I put like some stars in the sky. That's like kind of that starry, like moony feeling that you feel when you're getting the butterflies and falling in love. And yeah, so that's kind of what I did with that. And I sent Tom like 20 different edits of it because I really like did it a bunch of different ways. But I believe he decided on one of the ones where I'm actually not sure which one he decided on. I have to go look on OpenSea. But yeah, I did do a bunch of different edits, and I believe one of the edits I did, he's giving away today.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much, Flower, for speaking up. You can actually see the piece right now on twitch.com/Rad Ruesday if you're interested. The piece is up on OpenSea right now. And right now we're going to open it up for questions. If anyone has any questions for Miss Flower, please speak up.
Hi, Flower. It's me and Okai.
Hi, how you doing?
You're one of my OG CryptoNews collectors.
Yes.
Why don't you explain a little bit about Orgone? Because you had mentioned that, and I think it's an interesting topic. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've explored so far?
Yeah. So I actually so when I started getting into epoxy resin, I mean, I had seen like the pyramids all over the place, but I wanted to know more about them, and I've always been, like I said, a collector of like gemstones and crystals and whatnot. So when I started seeing people using those in their epoxy resin, I had to like figure out what was going on and why they were using it. So with the whole orgonite like energy, it's basically the quartz crystal when under pressure like emanates a certain energy that can clear like it can clear out like negative energy in your space. So the process is using like organic material, quartz crystals, using the pressure of the resin once it cures, and precious metals, and that combination is supposed to actually like clear like energies or move energy in your space. So I'm kind of like experimenting with that, like with myself. I made a piece that I've been like keeping in my room by my bed, and then I also made a piece that I'm keeping like by my plants because I guess it's supposed to like be good for like your plants and whatnot. Yeah. So do you guys have any questions about that?
I'd love that. What's that?
Would you like to elaborate on it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I love that stuff. And I have a
great explanation of it when we were in a clubhouse one day.
Yeah, I love that stuff. Yeah, I mean, and you gave a great explanation too. I have a bunch of it around my house, and yeah, it's like the same thing that runs our watches, like the piezoelectric current that quartz crystals, like when you see like LCD like quartz movement and stuff like on watches, like the quartz is like in such a way under a certain type of pressure, right? And it's in a certain situation that it gives off like a little bit of a electrical pulse, right? When it's introduced to like, it's introduced like the energy from the battery or whatever it might be, or the rotated bits, and it gives off that electricity, just a little tiny bit at like a very regular pulse, and that's like, and they knew how to tune the quartz crystal to get it to like pulse at a second's time, right? And so the orgo supposedly uses that same concept of putting the quartz stuff under such a pressure that mixed with, as you were saying, like specific parts of organic and metallic materials and carbon materials, it's supposedly supposed to give off like that piezoelectrical pulse somehow pushes out from the piece negative ions, and those negative ions are the things that are supposedly good for us, right? Right, and plants love it and stuff like that. It's kind of the same concept as free radicals. Like our bodies are constantly losing ions. They're constantly being like rubbed off of us, and those are the things that cause us to get older. They say that cause things to break down, because once those ions come off, the stability of the atoms like changes, and so such as like when you're drinking vitamin C's and stuff like that to reintroduce into your body free radicals. The idea with these things is that they're introducing to the air around you, these kinds of almost free radicals, but it's negative ions, and they say like the best place that you can go and experience like that kind of sensation is like going to the beach, because the water hitting the beach releases a tons of negative ions, or just in the middle of a forest where there's lots of plants, because transpiration by plants also releases negative ions. So that's kind of like the fun thing, and it's always the best way to do it, Nini, or flower power, however you want to be called. It's really just best to take everything in like an experimental mindset, right? Put yourself in situations, see if it does anything, see if it's you that's doing it, see if it's doing it. Even if it's an interaction between you and it, then maybe that's the thing, right? But yeah, it's all experimentation.
Yeah, definitely. And I've been trying to like just learn a little bit more about it, whenever I can. I actually just found somebody who was talking about the actual shape of the pyramid. So right now I've just been buying like basic like silicone molds in the pyramid shape. But I'm going to try to see if I can find one in the version that this person was talking about it, where they actually like dent in a bit on the sides, because that, like, instead of it being like just so straight like and flat, like it actually like moves the energy in a more like in a better like path or whatever. So this
in a more
also
upward concentrating way. Yeah.
Instead of it just like kind of like falling flat or concentrating it like straight down or whatever. So also like with like us being in a society now where we use electronics for everything, like there's all this EMF like energy around us and like waves, and this is supposed to like help move some of that, and that those can be dangerous as well. So if like you kept something like this like near a computer or your cell phone, it might kind of like move that away from those waves like directly like moving into you or your plants or whatnot. So it's a way to kind of like circulate the energy, even though like we don't necessarily see it, like it is supposed to like help move that around.
All right. Well, speaking of energy and movement, we got a very special giveaway. Thank you so much, Flower. But we're also going to transfer right over to, your giveaway. So, Flower, you created this exclusive variant rare NFT giveaway. And we're going to be giving this away on Hick et Nunc. So make sure you have your Tezos addresses for the winner after the stream. And so basically, here's what we're going to do. If you want to participate, make sure you're in the Twitch chat right now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a range of numbers in the Twitch chat, all right? And you're going to basically just guess. The first person to guess the number from within the range is going to be the winner, and I'm going to call you out. I'm going to write down the number on this sheet of paper so you know I'm not lying, and then we're going to get started. So I'm going to write down the range, the number right now, and then I'm going to pop it in the chat. Once I pop it in the chat, go. Go, 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 go. Do you understand? All right. Let's go with this range. All right, I got the range settled, and I'm about to pick my number. All right.
I just like to say thank you so much, Flower, for all that you have done. You know what I mean? Throughout the process was definitely a blessing for sure. It's been an honor working left and right, up and down with you. And I think that was 100% a great choice of titlement for this giveaway NFT, Inside Out, Upside Down. Because we all know life isn't perfect, and we all know it comes with duality. So for sure, I agree what you guys were talking earlier about energy. With some, hopefully, will know about life path numbers. I'm a number one life path, so the law of vibration is the number one law. So hopefully, everyone who does or does not know about their life path numbers, they're at least flying in a high frequency, vibration, high energy at all times, just loving life, living life, and hopefully whoever that is can get this giveaway in their Tezo.
Exactly. All right, so get ready. On your mark, get set. I have it on the paper. Go. I just entered the range inside of the Twitch chat. Make sure you guess within that range. First person to get it, I'm going to stop all of you. Keep guessing. Just keep smashing numbers, guys. Keep smashing numbers until you get it. Here we go. Ooh. 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 Some of you are close. We're going to keep this going. Here, I'm going to put some music on right now. Let's go. Nobody won it yet. You want this NFT? Who wants this NFT? Apparently no one. Y'all are not aligned with the frequencies. I'm about to take this shit myself. Excuse the language. The range is 100 to 150. Don't be repeating numbers. I see a few repeating numbers here. Oh my god. You must not want this NFT. Santoshi, you don't want this NFT? Abby, you don't want this NFT? Dave Sojourner definitely doesn't want this NFT. Oh shit! Stop the clock! Stop the clock! We have a winner. We have a winner. And the winner is number 142, Miss Abby. Abby Abstract. Our favorite.
Well done, Abby.
Abby, congratulations. Please text or chat your number to the Straight Path. Give him your Tezos wallet address, and he's going to send that over on Hicket Nunk. Now, this is the first NFTs that Tom has minted on Tezos, so this is a really special exclusive. This is from Flower, you know, in collaboration with Tom. So, congratulations, Abby.
Special.
Very special. Watch. 10 years from now? Watch. All right, guys. Let's move along. So I just want to, you know, quickly remind everyone who's just joining, or anyone who isn't aware, this chat is hosted by Rad Ruesday, this live stream. And we're an NFT art collective. We support each other. We do events, giveaways, collabs, all kinds of fun stuff. So if you're interested in joining up with Rad Ruesday and hanging out with us, all you got to do is go on Twitter, find an artist whose work you like, leave them a comment with some nice words, hashtag Rad Ruesday it, and leave a Scooby meme. And that was created by Mr. Sal Satoshi NFT in order to prevent buffoonery from entering into the Rad Ruesday circle and encourage good vibes, not to take each other too seriously. And that's what Rad Ruesday is all about, is having fun. All right. All right. Well, we got a few more speakers coming up, and then we're going to close this thing out. We got some more exclusive NFTs to release at this point in time. And next being Mr. Samtoshi F. Baby. Samtoshi, are you with us?
Yes, I am. I'm actually here, and I'm early for a change. You know, I'm always kind of late to things, so pretty excited about that. We started off on a good foot, but it's there's a lot of pressure on me right now following, you know, Flower and Michael Jordan. I mean, come on, how can you follow up to that?
How the hell are you gonna follow Michael Jordan?
right. And you know what's crazy? I have a few connections. It's crazy that, you know, Michael Jordan is going that went ahead of me, because I actually love Michael Jordan. First of all, I actually named my son. His middle name is Jordan, so it's Cameron Jordan, and I very much appreciate knowing somebody named Michael Jordan. So it's nice to meet you, Michael. And then with Flower,
No, likewise.
yeah, man. It was nice hearing about you. I appreciate you working with Tom. I appreciate everybody being here. And with Flower, my last name, my real name is Sammy Flores, and my last name in English means flower. So I always like to tell, you know, Flower we have a special connection. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about myself to introduce to everybody who doesn't know me. I mean, a lot of you know me because we're in the Rad Ruesday group together. But yeah, so I live in San Antonio, Texas, here in the United States. I'm a dad first. My primary and ultimate priority is taking care of my son, who unfortunately has a couple of sensory processing disorders, but we are definitely overcoming it, and he's doing fabulous in his therapies. I know a couple of you guys know that I attend a bunch of different therapies throughout the week with my son, so I just want to give y'all a little bit of a heads up on how he's doing. He's doing wonderful. He actually took his first bite yesterday. I don't think I've told everybody, but he has trouble eating, so he doesn't really like bite down on anything. So at 2 years, 20, it's like 27 months. It's kind of crazy that he hasn't really learned how to bite anything. So he actually bit his first French fry, and so it was like Christmas the other day. So yeah, that's enough about my personal life, obviously. But second, I'm a comic book illustrator. Independent comic book illustrator. I do mostly inking and coloring, and I was trained by Gary Edmond. He's Upper Deck, Marvel Comics, and Dynamite Comics digital sketch card artist. Well, he does digital and he does real like sketch cards. So Upper Deck sends him cards like to actually draw on, and he does them on the small little cards. He did like the Marvel Cinematic Universe 10th anniversary Upper Decks limited edition one. So yeah, it was pretty cool to be associated and trained by somebody with such accolades. Together, we've worked on over 5 different independent comic books, and most notably, it's the freedom-filled, flavorful, faithfully fierce, fantastic, fear-facing food fighters. That's something that him and I created. More him. He came up with the concept, and then I have a crazy mind whenever it comes to world building. So we've kind of been building it slowly. And last year we had a pretty big opportunity. Nickelodeon actually we had a spot on a Nickelodeon show called How Music Leaves Your Family, or some new show that they were doing on Nickelodeon, and everybody in the audience got a copy and gave feedback, and they all enjoyed it. But then what happened was the pandemic hit, and it put everything on breaks. So we were really hopeful to get a cartoon going. That was the ultimate goal, get a cartoon, have a comic, get a couple action figures. We're really inspired by the Ninja Turtles. So we wanted to do something similar like that. So we created a universe with good food versus bad food. So we got the food fighters, and they go against different factions that we're creating. And right now the main villain is the Big Cheese. So he has a waffle warrior fries. He has two guys that kind of like his right hand men. We have chopped liver and Burgo. Burgo has little evil nuggets that he controls. Yeah, so it's a big, huge, it's a crazy concept, and it's all based off 80s cartoons type vibes. But yeah, that's the Food Fighters comic that Gary and I work on. In addition to that one, I wrote a comic book that I plan on putting out on the blockchain this fall. I plan to put out all 6, but I might just do 3 and then wait till the other 3 just till the next year, just to have some content out. And yeah, so it's called Henry the Elf. It's Henry the Elf, Revenge of the Elf, and it's a comic book about this elf who has been bullied his whole life by his friends, and one day they are actually they're graduating from the Elf Academy. So it's just a little spoiler. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to make sure I don't tell too much. But they're graduating from Elf Academy, and in the process, they started talking about how Santa Claus is, sorry, excuse my language, is fucked up. He's like, oh, well, we've been hearing that he's a piece of shit, and he hits Mrs. Claus, and like, well, Henry is like in disbelief. He's like, what are you talking about? You know, Santa Claus is like the most awesome person. Like, he's the most joyful person in the fucking world, right? And so they convince him to go spy on Santa Claus to learn for himself. And what happens is he finds out that it's a little true. So it like captures the journey of Henry the Elf, like getting his revenge on Santa Claus, because a bunch of things happen. He gets kicked out of the North Pole, and so he's coming back for his revenge. And it's just a story I created based on the Elf on the Shelves. You know, for some reason it really bothered me, because when I was little, I don't know when the Elf on the Shelf actually began. But I didn't really like the concept. And I'm not like a Grinch or anything, but yeah, I created it to like, just to be like just kind of like a parody. So that's going to be coming out this October. So I'm pretty excited about that in reference to the comics that I'm working on, and actually bringing them to the blockchain. So that's going to be an awesome opportunity. And then in addition to that, I actually just started a role with the Near Blockchain as a moderator for their Discord channel. And yeah, it's been great. I've been doing it for about 3 or 4 weeks, and so I'm learning a lot more about DAOs and guilds and all these different things that I had no idea about. I thought we were just creating NFTs. Like, I always tell them, I'm like, I don't know, I really don't know much. All I do is draw and color. So, but I mean, I can make a badass like NFT for you if you want to do like different giveaways. But they're always like being all technical and stuff. And I'm like, okay, y'all got to slow down and talk to me a little bit, like layman's terms, like. But yeah, so that's what's going on with me right now. As far as the work that I'm partaking in, I am doing a collaboration with a couple of other individuals for NFTs. Where Gary and I are actually going to put out a couple of digital cards on Paris HQ. On the Near blockchain, they do the digital art cards, and we're planning to do some type of like Pokemon-esque game. So we're developing that right now. And then yeah, so I came into the NFT space like without knowing much, right? Just like almost everybody else, and right from the get-go, it just took off, like getting all these collaborations going. I remember when Tom first came to me, I'm like, yeah, man, of course, how much time do I have? And he was like, yeah, you have a month. I was like, cool, great, because I was like swamped with things. So it's still kind of the same, and I kind of feel how Flower was saying, you get burned out sometimes, but you got to keep going. I mean, the Rad Ruesday group is what really inspires me a lot. I know I haven't really been as vocal as I've been in the past, just because I'm learning a lot more information over the past few weeks. But yeah, like, it's always been a great inspiration. The support is definitely key, in my opinion. I've never felt like I feel right now in as far as innovation, and I really think it's due to the individuals that I've surrounded myself in the NFT space. And I just want to thank everyone. And Tom, thank you for the opportunity to participate in your Genesis collection for your brand. I really like the message it gives out. And as far as our collaboration is concerned, I know you asked me to talk a little bit, or you asked me how to describe it in a sentence, and it really represents sky's the limit. Whenever I was given the opportunity to choose which picture I would go ahead and kind of transform into my own, I really like the idea of the bird. You know what I'm saying? And it's actually crazy because I've never done animation. So this is like the first animation piece I've ever done, and I wanted it to kind of look like an old school cartoon over like a sky, which is clearly depicted. And if you're looking at the NFT, and it really makes me feel like sky's the limit. Like NFTs, it really is sky's the limit. There's so much innovation going on, and it's not just art. It's not just smart contracts. It's much more, and it's gonna really build a foundation for a lot of us to go ahead and become wealthy people if we keep working hard and keep up the positive vibes with each other and support one another.
You are an all-star, man. You always bring that great energy to the chat. You're always the one who's there supporting everyone. I just want to say thank you, and I'm sure Tom feels the same way. Damn. Well, this piece is amazing. I love the quote. It makes me feel like the sky is the limit, especially with the visual of the bird flying through the air. Absolutely. And this is insane that this was your first time doing animation like this, especially in this old school way. So, damn. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Samtoshi?
Me.
Whoa. Okay. Mr. Inokai, come through.
Me. Okay. So, one. Hey, Sammy. I just started like hand animation just like 2 weeks ago myself, and I started with wings as well. I was doing bat wings. So yes. I really feel connected to the fact that we both saw wings, which you would naturally think would be really freaking hard, and they really freaking are. But I'm happy that we both attacked that first. I think that is synchronistic, and I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, man. It really it's crazy because I'm really super I like to look at it, attention to detail is one of my higher skills, I think, when it comes to arts and different things that I'm interested in, whether it be sports or whatever. I really like to look at the different details and pay attention. So I watched you don't even know how many videos of just birds I watched. I'm sure you probably did too, but I watched so many videos just to kind of get an understanding of how the body moves. And because obviously we're going, I don't know how many frames per second that you are doing it in, but I do 24 frames per second for the animation, and I believe for this one it took me 8 or 9 seconds. So if you do the multiplication, 9 times 24. We're really I was really drawing everything over 100 times. You know what I mean? So it's crazy, and I've always actually been infatuated with 2D animation. So to kind of get a foot in the door to learning, it was an awesome experience, and I'm glad I took on this challenge.
Yeah, no, I would totally suggest watch some videos on YouTube because there's so many different things that people say when it comes to animation that really blew my mind. One is that you don't animate every frame, you animate every other frame, which I didn't understand. But then when you start doing it, you see it flow. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, I see why you do that. It's really really interesting.
For sure. Yeah. YouTube University is my go-to. So I was definitely watching a couple of different videos that said you animate in 2s or in 3s or sometimes in 4s. Yeah, exactly. Depending on how much or how exaggerated you want something to be. It's really a crazy concept, and I'm really excited about learning more about it.
And also, just to you and also to Nini and anybody else here, if you ever need any kind of printing done, I do help run a print shop, and we do work specifically. We do have a whole department specifically where we work with artists, because we know that artists don't need 1,000 things. They only need a few, or they just need a sample, or they just need 10 or 4 or 1. And we do binding. We do glue binding and saddle stitch and stuff like that. And reproductions, Nini, because I know you were saying that you wanted to start to do reproductions on some of your stuff, and anybody else as well. And we ship worldwide. So just DM me if you ever need anything. You might already be all hooked up, but if not, we have somebody in the family here that I can help you out with.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm always down, man. I'm always down. I'll definitely keep you in mind for in the future whenever I'm going to be printing out some things. I plan on doing a couple of Comic Cons this next year. Yes. So I'll definitely keep you in mind, and yeah, we'll be working together for sure.
Yeah, we do a lot for Designer Con. There's something here in California called Designer Con, so a lot of people hit us up, a couple weeks, sometimes a few months before that, for different things. Because we also do large banners, and we do pop-up banners and all kinds of large format printing as well. So cool.
Awesome. That's exciting. That's exciting, and that's good to know. I appreciate that, man.
Dude, thank you so much. And lastly, Santoshi.
Quick, if I can slide in here real fast.
Oh yeah, slide in, Mr. Tom. Slide in.
You 100%, Sammy is 100% a legend, and I like to just give you 100% all your flowers as much as I possibly can. No pun intended, of course. It's just due to homage. You need it. You deserve it. We always kind of conversate here and there, and then, if it's not wisdom, you're dripping down on not only myself, but obviously it goes down like a tree to the whole team. But we also see you in the whole group chat that is always helping not only us, but the next person, the next woman, whoever it is. We always see you reaching out a hand on top of everything you're already building on your own empire. So all flowers is due to you.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I don't know who I spoke to at first. It might have been Sal, but when I was younger, I really didn't understand how to network. I didn't understand how to actually, give to open up to people. It was always like, you know what, I think I could do this all by myself, and all by myself, and all by myself. And I failed a lot. So I learned that I can't do it all by myself. So I feel like the more help and the more you offer to everybody, the more you learn, and the more you're able to overcome some of the things that may be coming into your mind whenever you're at a stop or at a still, like to keep going or to keep, just putting yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? So, I appreciate you, and thank you again for giving me the opportunity, and thank you for seeing me in that light. I definitely appreciate that. I'm always just here to help everybody out. So if anybody ever, has a question about, I really know a lot about Photoshop. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to DM me, and if I don't know the answer, I could definitely direct you in a certain path to answer your questions. So, like I said, feel free to hit me up.
Oh yeah, that's 100%. And if everyone who is on Twitch right now would be able to see Justin's beautiful work, you can tell he's definitely a finesser on Photoshop as well, because he's paying Santoshi some good homage. But yes, 100%, Sam. Just keep doing what you're doing, and 100% like everybody else, don't give up. 3 feet from gold story. As soon as you give up, you're right there, so close to your prize. You literally just kind of ruined it for yourself, and you don't want to be your own worst enemy, is what they say. But you can change your own path, your own life, your whole paradigm in a decision in a moment.
Absolutely, absolutely. You make your own life, right? Like, you have your own choice to do certain things. So, as long as you keep going, I don't see why you couldn't do what you want to do. Like, it sounds simple. It sounds simple, but it's the truth.
All right. Good vibes all around, as usual. I'd expect nothing less from Rad Ruesday. And on that note, I want to say thank you to Mr. Sam. Thank you to Mr. Tom. Thank you to everyone who's participating here today. This is all experimental, and we're taking it one step at a time on a shoestring budget, last minute, all of that, learning as we go. So thank you to everyone who joined the chat today. Thank you to everyone in the clubhouse. I see you, Miss Anna, bestie. And thank you to everyone who's on Twitch in the chat room as well. And speaking of Twitch, we have another giveaway coming up in a little bit, so you better stay tuned. This one is going to be for Mr. Zenshi, who is not speaking with us today, but he has contributed an amazing piece to give away on Tezos. So make sure you have your Twitch chat ready. We're going to do the same thing next round around, so get ready for that. And for anyone who is not aware, this is hosted by Rad Ruesday. We're an NFT collective. We do chats, we support each other, we hug each other, we compliment each other, we hype each other up on Twitter, we repost each other. And there's no rules for joining. We don't gatekeep. Anyone can join this. It's so easy. All you have to do is go on Twitter and spread some love. Leave hashtag Rad Ruesday in a comment on someone you want to show some love to and give them a Scooby meme, and we're going to invite you in the next day. This is a non-hierarchical community. We don't gatekeep. It's only good vibes. So come through for Rad Ruesday. And don't forget to follow everyone who's speaking here tonight on Twitter. That's the main avenue in which we all interact, so please go show some love. So next, I'm going to briefly introduce this piece right here. Now, Mr. Zenshi is not speaking with us. We're actually having the honor of having Mr. Dave Digital, Dave Sojourno, come speak with us next. However, I'm going to have to throw his slide together on the fly live because my stupid head forgot to actually include that slide. So I just want to pop this up on the screen. This is part of Tom's Genesis collection, Genesis Collab project, and that is on OpenSea right now. Anyone who wants to check out this insane NFT, like, this thing is so cool. This is honestly one of my favorites. It is like so psychedelic and trippy. There's a straight up baby on here. It is so cool. The colors are amazing, and I just think it's a dope piece. So if this is the one, I don't think these are going to be around forever, you guys. Really, like, eventually these are all going to sell out. So make sure you get out onto OpenSea and check out this collection. That being said, let's.
I mean, if you don't want me to, I mean, I can speak a couple words in the honor of Zenshi.
Please do.
Just a few words, just for my man, so that way he can have his homage, as course he deserves.
Please do. Please
spoke
do.
a little bit earlier. He told me a few things about this art and himself. He told me that I think of my art as a form of love, passion, and freedom. I love being able to express myself through an art form, whether if it's music or just graphic art. In my opinion, art is just a great way to channel one's emotions. You can be angry and create a great piece and be happy as ever and create a great one, too. Everyone is creative in some form or another. Art is something that's meant to get people talking, get them interested in it. If I could describe my art in 2 words, I call it ethereal evolution. Skills improve over time, and so does quality. About me, well, I just love expressing myself through creative work. Music, art, and sports are the best way for me to do that. I play basketball, I produce music, and I make art. The reasons I involve sports is because it helps build character. It helps evolve you as a person through the art we call life. Life is beautiful. It's ethereal. It's forever evolving. I created Zen's monstrosities on Mintable for fun, to be honest. Didn't care much for money. It would help for sure, but the main factor was for someone else to own a piece of my art and enjoy it. Smiley face.
Damn. That was
great.
I wasn't ready for all that. I'm about to cry.
Yeah, that was really great.
All
I
right.
also wanted to say, I just wanted to say something to Sammy, that it is always a pleasure. And I think your elf story sounds really cool. I was actually like giggling while you were explaining it. And I think that's a really good time to release it because it's like right before the holidays. So, and that I'm so happy that I was a part of this whole collaboration project. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Flower. The honor is everyone's here, is in your presence. So thank you for always coming through. All right. So as I said, I'm doing this this slide on the fly over here. So this is quite crazy, but I think I have it working. So we're just gonna go create a new, and we're gonna put this up here. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the Mr. Dave's piece. Dave, are you there?
Hey, yeah, that's the one, man.
That's
Thanks
the
for having
one.
me,
All
Justin.
right, we got it. All right. So please welcome Mr. Dave. Mr. Dave
Save the
Digital.
date.
Save
It
the
looks
date.
good, looks good, looks good.
This
Hey, Dave, how you doing? I hope all is well where you're at.
Yeah, good. Just saying hi from Sydney. It's like 9 a.m. So just starting the daily grind. But yeah, it's good to tune in and speak with you guys. It's my first time on Clubhouse, like speaking, so it's really cool.
Great. And as you know, you're also on Twitch right now. And so we can all tune in on twitch.com/Rad Ruesday to follow along with all these pieces because there's some amazing art. And good morning.
Yeah. What time is it for you guys?
Well, the thing about Rad Ruesday is that we are very international. We are spread out across basically every time zone that you could think of. So I'm in Eastern time. I'm pretty sure everyone else here is in all different time zones.
Wow.
It's 4:30 in the afternoon right here.
Cool. Where's that at?
San Diego. The weird thing is that no matter where we are, it's 24 minutes past the hour.
Yeah, true that.
That is funky.
Totally creepy.
Cool. So yeah, I'll probably talk about the work. So I actually found out about this collaboration through Rami, who's actually in the chat. He's got a Discord server called Bit Nifty, if you guys have heard of that. But yeah, he put in the chat that was this awesome collaboration opportunity with a guy called The Straight Path, and I actually wasn't sure, to be honest, what that was about. But the more I looked into his brand and what he's about, I really resonated with his values. And so yeah, I went ahead with it. Got to pick from a variety of different photos, and the one that really stood out to me was this one of Save the Date with obviously meaning kind of like a wedding proposal, or I mean it's really open, but that's just how I decided to interpret it. And so I'm a motion designer, a 3D one at that, and so yeah, I just wanted to translate that image into a full 3D scene with some really nice lighting, and I really hope that the final result kind of shows the hard work that I've put in. Yeah.
So what's the deal with this? What is the inspiration behind this?
Good question. Yes, I wanted a nice short loop, so I'm really into seamless loops and all that. Big fan of guys like like if you've seen those really satisfying loops on Instagram and all those, something sort of in that vein where you can just constantly repeat it and it'll just be seamless. So that's what I went after, and I just went for this idea of the chalkboard, because it was a chalkboard being kind of hand scratched on with like this transition, and I was thinking the camera could move in and out and that could kind of loop forever. So that's the vibe. And then for the audio, I've also got like some calming kind of city playground noises, just to add that atmosphere to the final result.
Yeah, and for anyone who wants to experience this piece in all of its entirety, please check out The Straight Path on Twitter. You can go to his bio and to his OpenSea account, and you can see this with the audio on because it's actually really beautiful. And this animation is also definitely a vibe.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. I'm actually still 19, guys, so still learning a lot. Graduated from high school around 2 years ago, and I'm just trying to get a career in motion design. So this is what I hope to do for a living, and NFTs are looking like a really great way to get into that. So thanks.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. This was my first time today seeing everybody's NFTs. So it's really cool how everything kind of pulled together too. Like even though we didn't see each other's work before this, like they all kind of look like they are part of a series together. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Hi everyone. If I could just chime in here. Welcome, David. Thanks for being here. I've been in the room for a while. It's so surprising to see you here. Thanks for joining. Straight past Tom. It's so crazy to finally hear your voice. You've been part of the community for so long. It's just a pleasure to finally have this opportunity to speak to you. Sorry, by the way, if my voice is coming off any type of way. I'm just in the car driving from Chicago to Niagara Falls currently. So excuse me if there's any sound that from my side, car sounds. But I just wanted to say I'm really excited for you, Tom, and David. I can't believe that you're only 19. I've seen so much of your work. You're incredibly talented. Really excited that you're collaborating with Tom. I think that's incredibly exciting. I just want to wish you all the best. I've been dying to get on the Twitch or just get a chance to look at the art, but I'm just driving. I'm in my last 2 hours here. But I wish you all the very best with the drop. I'm going to be looking at everything as soon as I get there, the moment I check in. But just wanted to give you all the very best wishes from my side, and really happy to have you both collaborating on this drop and just to be in this room. Justin, this is my first time hearing about Rad Ruesday, but I think what you're doing here is really cool. I just joined the club on Clubhouse, and I'll be happy to pop in again in the future. But thanks for hosting. I think it's great of you, and I think it's just super exciting. So thanks for everything. Yeah.
What's happening, Rami? For sure. It's a big honor to finally have a nice stage and talk to you as well, because I know I can't even explain. It felt like 2 years ago, but it's honestly only been about 2 months, 60 days, a couple hours. I don't know, but I know for sure with your whole platform, Bit Nifty, it is taking off, and all flowers, roses, sunflowers are due to you as well, because I've seen and came across that you're working with the Arabian camels, which was once our profile photo, but of course you gotta support your own supply whenever you do have one. So we're not having that as a profile photo right now, but definitely 100%. Your platform is a beautiful platform as well. Collaboration over competition is always the goal. There should be no reason why. If life is literally a buffet, and I don't eat seafood, I don't eat crab meat and all that, but I know there's people out here that do. There's definitely one person in this group chat that does, so you can help yourself to that. Meanwhile, there has to be a plate in that same buffet that we're both dining at that you're not going to eat, that I can stuff my face with. So the whole thing I'm basically saying is we all have a plate that we can eat off of as long as we know how to collaborate and not literally try to be our own competition. I think that starts with the face in the mirror that you look at every day and you hopefully are smiling at. I know Abby, I know that Flower wanted to say something as well.
But just to extend your metaphor real quick, with that being the case, everybody could sit at the table and eat together. So, banquet for all. And I just wanted to say also to Nini, I heard all the great things you mentioned you're working on. I just wanted to say it's awesome that you're working on those mementos for those that have passed and their families, and that's really great of you. Also, you mentioned that you're working to fight sex trafficking, and I think that's amazing. So I just wanted to give you all my best regards, and I'll be following you, and just doing whatever I can to support you.
Thank you so much. And I think you said you were leaving from Chicago. I'm actually from the Chicagoland area too. So, but thank you so much for the support.
No No problem. It was actually my first time going to Chicago. My sister was born there. I was 4 years old, though. So it was my first time actually seeing Chicago. I didn't realize how beautiful it was. I was originally going for 5 days. I ended up staying for 2 weeks. It's a beautiful city. Beautiful, beautiful city. I loved it.
Thank you so much. Yes, this is the most beautiful time of the year, too. You picked a perfect time to come.
So sorry, I was just getting a call. I didn't hear what you said. I apologize. Could you repeat that for me, please?
Yes, I just said yes. Chicago is a very beautiful city, and this is the most beautiful time of the year to come and visit. So you picked a good time.
That's what I was told. I was like, yeah, Chicago is beautiful, but it gets cold. And,
yes, it really does. And dark for like months and months and months. So
that's
it's so beautiful right now, though. The weather right now is perfect. So.
Oh yeah. No, it's a beautiful city. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But Niagara Falls is really cool too. If you've never been, I recommend it.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Rami. It was great to hear from you. Yeah, and I've never met you either. Please use hashtag Rad Ruesday on next Tuesday. Try to use that hashtag because it would be awesome to invite you into the Twitter chat, and that's basically the only requirement. And yeah, you have great energy, good vibes. So thank you for coming, man.
My pleasure. I'll certainly do that the moment I get home. I made a mental note of it. So yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, everyone. Well, a lot of good vibes going around right now. A lot of love. Of course, that's expected. And in the spirit of love and good vibes, we're going to kick off our final giveaway of the night. So make sure everyone is ready on Twitch. And here we go. So the piece we're giving away is actually from that legendary Zenshi. I'll throw his old piece back on the screen real quick to remind you. So the legend Zenshi has contributed this to Tom, and now he's contributing this to you. Yes, you at home on Twitch. So in a moment, I'm going to write down a range of numbers, and I'm going to pick one number out of that range, and it's your job to go into the Twitter chat, smash numbers, and the first one to guess that number is going to win this NFT. This NFT is an exclusive, one-of-a-kind piece created by Mr. Zenshi that is released on the Tezos blockchain. So I'm going to write this number down and get started. And once I post the number in the chat is when you start. If you do it before, you're not going to get counted. If you do it after, first one to hit that number wins. So let me write this number down. Give me a second. Here we go. Who wants to win? Abby. Abby was our last winner. You guys ready? Is everyone ready in the chat? Let me make sure you're ready first. You're ready. Abby's ready. She's ready to snag another NFT. Is she gonna get 2? Should we allow that? Abby says yes. All right, well, let me think of this number real quick. I gotta channel something. All right, we're gonna do... All right, no cheating. All right, I'm about to post this number, the range, sorry. Guess within this range, first person to get it wins. All right. Let's go. You know what to do. It's going to be a number between 20 and 70. Smash the numbers in the chat until someone gets it. Miss Abby. Miss Abby's going to be the only one guessing right now. I guess no one wants this NFT. Abby said 22. Let's see. The range is 20 to 70. It's going to be a number between 20 and 70. It's one of my favorite numbers. Just kidding. I don't want to blow up my spot now. Oof. Keep going. We got a competition here. It's a face-off. Alright, I'm gonna give you a hint. Oh shit! Oh shit! Stop the clock. Stop the clock. Stop it. How did you know? How did you know, Mr. Dave? How did you know? We have a winner. Dave Sojourno has won this NFT. Yes, I went there. That's okay. Congratulations, Mr. Dave. Make sure you reach out to Tom with your Tezos address. So that's going to be your address, wallet address starting with a TZ. And then you're going to get your free NFT. Got it? Good. All right, everyone. So we're about getting ready to close out this night. Congratulations, Dave. I know. Dave, congratulations. This one-of-a-kind NFT is yours. This one is actually really sick. Look at the line work. Are you kidding me? That's like not a normal NFT. That's extra. You just got a crazy piece. Congratulations. All right. So, everyone, we're getting ready to wrap up the night, if I'm not mistaken. We are so grateful for everyone that came by. And it's not, it's not for nothing that everyone gives up their time for this community. We're not making, we're not paying people out. We're not giving out bags away for free. It's really out of everyone's kindness that everyone, showed up, came through, participated, contributed, and that we continue to participate in Rad Ruesday and support each other. And, it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, it might not be in a week, in a month, but I really do feel, as Tom has said before, that we're creating a form of generational wealth, paying it forward, and just continuing to build this insane thing that we have no idea where it's going to go. So let's keep going, keep inviting others on the journey, and let's go. All right. So Tom, you got anything else to say before we close this thing out? I would love it if you could say some words.
Oh yeah, of course. That's 100%. I'd like to just say thank you everybody for just taking their good old sweet time, because definitely a quote, time is the most valuable asset. Money is not real, and if I'll take it to the next level, neither is space. But we'll just stop right there and bring it back to a nice little comfortable space of just saying, love yourself, love everything you do, understand that you yourself, it might sound cliche, but you yourself are a walking NFT. There is nothing fungible about you that you can do that someone else can do, unless you literally have a twin brother or sister that has the same brain and everything, you live the same life. Other than that, tap in more into yourself, love yourself in order to find your superpower. And I know that sounds cliche, call me as it is, but just know the straight path is here to stay, and help those that need help, and support those that need support, and guide those that need guidance. But if you don't need any of those at above, we just hope that you can be the one who supports those who need the support, and so on and so forth, for what we just said. Because I'm just an advocate for a whole brand of investors. So therefore, I'm trusted to speak the right words and say the right things, and sometimes show my face. in different occasions. So hopefully everybody that joined tonight and spent their time was able to at least get that little bit of energy to take home and spread it to those that they know and they want to know, and they'll eventually know, because life don't stop unless you literally just give up. Remember that. Don't give up, you know, and if you feel like giving up, just understand that feeling is letting you know you're so close to executing your goal.
Thank you, Mr. Tom. That was freaking amazing, you guys. This was the first one we ever did, and I think it went great. Everyone, please go to his Twitter page. It's up on the screen right now, twitch.com/Rad Ruesday. Follow us there. Follow Tom. Follow everybody that spoke tonight, because there's some amazing NFTs, and I'm pretty sure everyone that spoke tonight, including, you know, our youngest Dave, including Flower, including Samtoshi, and freaking Mr. Michael Jordan, Insane. So we're all going places, and we're all going to be around, and most importantly, everyone that spoke tonight and everyone that's in Rad Ruesday is very friendly, and I love that about us. Thank you so much, Tom, for the inspirational words. And lastly, I just want to say thank you also, although he wasn't able to join us tonight, I just want to say thank you to Sal Satoshi NFT, Salvador Satoshi. We all know him. We all love him. And he's someone that's really close. He's the person who started Rad Ruesday. And it was his idea to bring us all together in a community where we could just, you know, be chill and spread good vibes. And I really want to say thank you to Sal, if you're listening. And just, you know, let's keep going, guys. This is just the beginning. I know, you know, the Twitter space, NFT space can seem exhausting at times, but I really feel that this is just the beginning of something big, and wherever that takes us, it's really going to be to the moon. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. You guys are awesome. Hashtag Rad Ruesday. Let's go.
So yeah, thank you so much for hosting. Hey, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks Tom. Thanks Justin.
Thanks you, everyone.
Cheers.
Thank you, Justin, for sure. You're the bomb host, man. Keep it up.
Thank you, Mr. Tom. Bye, everyone. And make sure you tune in next week, because actually in 2 weeks from now, by the way, we're having Abby Abstract is having her NFT drop party. So that's going to be so crazy. We're going to do it completely different. We're going to have all kinds of different things happening. So, you know, we're going to get better as we go along. So thank you to everyone that showed up. Tune in. Rad Ruesday. Follow us on Twitter. Let's go. Bye.
Thank you. See you.